Another day, well, another 50 cent. No. Is that before or after taxes? Hey, good morning, everybody. God bless you. Thanks for coming down and joining me here on Crazy-Ass Fridays on the Revolution on the Morning in the Morning show. Yeah, it's a revolution on the morning, man. Everybody, wake the hell up. What's the matter with y'all? Got my hair all kind of scruffled up there. It looks all kind of bad. Watching, getting ready, get Rev Radio to get kicked in the pig here, get the motion in the lotion, and everything else going around. Yeah. Anyway, um, lots of stupid shit this morning. Well, that's every day, isn't it? We just report the news. It's dead. It's dumb. It's whatever. Okay. So yeah, we're waiting on Rev Radio so they can wrap up our promotions over there for all the other shows. And remember, if you want to start your own radio show, Revolution Radio, the management does not interfere with your show. They don't tell you what to say, when to say it, and they give you directions in a certain way. We just don't do that. We have a few words that we really don't like to people to talk about, but who likes to hear the N word all day? Or, well, me, I drop the F bomb. We could have a whole arsenal of F bombs, from fuck to fornication. Where are we at here? Get ready. We got about a minute, and we get back here live and start with this kick this pig, and start with the current news and information that we got going on over here. I was laughing because one of the clips, or some of the clips I saw, is like, it's a problem. Oh God, yeah. So I guess one of the big things we should be talking about is Dr. Copper. Do you know Dr. Copper? Yeah, if you scrap metal, you know Dr. Copper. Okay. Also, copper is one of the leading indicators of what? Inflation. Yeah, here we go. About 5 seconds. Ooh, daddy, get myself wound up there just like a bunny rabbit. Yeehaw! Good morning. It's time for the Revolution in the Morning show. It is Crazy Ass Friday. So come on down and join us. Oh my God. I was starting to talk about something, and now it's already going out the other side of my brain. Man, I am telling you. Wow. Gosh, where should we start? I guess important stuff. Like Seattle, Washington, um, where another major conspiracies about arson squads that literally go around and are now starting fires. Now, remember, this is a way to attack a community. Okay, I mean, if you're an arsonist, if you're an insane, crazy person, um, a little arson is nothing. I'm just saying. Okay. Um, but Spokane, Washington is seeing the same. These we are seeing the same burn patterns is a good description. Okay, of what we saw in Hawaii and in California, the Palisades fire and the beach fire down there over there in Hawaii, and something less like some of the fires we saw last year, where complete houses got burned to the ground, Cars got literally melted onto the concrete and asphalt driveways of these houses. Okay. And um, the grass is green in the yard still. Maybe the sprinkler kicked on. I don't know. But why would the tree, why would the 40-foot tree beside the house be literally unscorched? Now, as I watched some of the video from some of these clips that they were showing, there are clear signs of fire damage on some of these trees. Okay. Maybe it was the house is made of such combustible material today. And this is something that people need to think about. If you make your house out of nice dried tinder box with a flammable asphalt roof, you might have problems with fire. I'm just saying. Um, Not to say that a lot of this stuff is strange, and the question is it just so much shit going on that it's just like everything else? All of the actions of everybody that's out there doing stupid shit is overlapping, and now it's starting to stack up. And is that what creates and breaks societies into civil war modes? Um, I don't know. I tell you, we are a fractured society today, and our government has been the main instrument of that fracturing of America. Our government, I say, because it's the Republican and Democrat political parties that have their own little clubs and their own groups of people that control sectors and industries in America. Yeah, America is just fucked, in all honesty, right now. But I was starting to talk about Dr. Copper earlier, and Dr. Copper is up to $14,000 a ton. That's right. The cost of copper is wow, is going through the roof. So on the London Metal Exchange, this week futures atop $14,000 a ton, another leg higher. You'll see prices getting pushed higher, and you'll see fucking let's just say meth heads out there stealing anything that's got a copper tone to it. I'm just it's sad state of affairs. Okay. Bloomberg reports more than 200,000 tons of copper flowed into U.S. ports in July, the largest ever monthly inflow, and data going back to 2014. U.S. prices have kept the trade profitable. So anyway, the U.S. is these are minerals that I don't think they're a rare earth mineral, but they're in a group of industrial metals that the United States really has to have if it's going to have any kind of what do you want to call it, a war economy. Okay. I mean, that's what we have now, right? Of the war economy. Okay. Because it's not backing down, it's not stopping, everything is going, it's going kind of sideways until it goes sideways until it hits a big ass snag. Okay. That's what I see happening. All right. Um, the economy, right? That's just kind of this broad range of topic that I'm trying to talk about right now this morning, or right now in this section. And that, Trump has allowed the United States government to take bits and pieces and to buy into more than 30 companies just the other day. 30 corporations were showered with government money. The truth is, the United States government should not be in private sector funding technologies that allow them to literally spy on the Americans, on the American people. Okay, the Fourth Amendment only applies to government. It does not apply to what? That's right, corporations. Corporations that hold your money, they can just hand it over in any freaking time they want without a warrant or without cause, or they just want to kiss the government's ass. Okay, so yeah, it is crazy. Uh, so yeah, it's wow, it's nuts. All right. So I was trying to look for that story real quick, but they must have really buried it. We got a lot of stuff coming out this morning. That means it's going to be a lot of big ass stupid shit coming out this afternoon because the amount of big ass stupid shit that we got coming out right now is, well, let's just say it's never ending. Investigators unveiled charges against a dismissed Ukrainian ambassador to the United States of America, where she had a couple apartments and some money in the bank and something else, and $300,000 in cash, and you know, I mean, what are Ukrainian government officials to do with all the money that is being literally foisted on them? Okay, so yeah, it is. It is crazy. That's what I will say. Okay. Judge says updated National Firearms Act violates the Constitution. Registration and approval requirements for suppressors, short barreled rifles, and short barreled shotguns in the National Firearms Act are unconstitutional. It's just like a poll tax. You just can't put those prices, those regulations, and everything else and make people jump through hoops and loops to exercise their God given rights in America. This is in line with the 1937 U.S. Supreme Court case Sonatsky versus United States, in which the High Court ruled the NFA is a legal exercise of Congress's taxing authority. In that decision, the court found that the government could gather information on the owners of certain firearms and their accessories that were subject to the NFA's $200 excise as part of a tax collection process. Wednesday's ruling in response to two consolidated cases, Jensen versus the ATF with a Silencer Shop Foundation and the versus the ATF in the U.S. District Court in Northern Texas. Once the Congress eliminated the taxes for the suppressors, the constitutional foundation for registration had been eliminated as well. Okay. And this is something that Democrats wanted to do. They wanted to have this hooty doody shit. Well, we won't tax your flash suppressor. We won't tax this. We won't tax that. But we need a fucking list of it to keep on file in our government fucking file of you, that said person. Yeah, or persons, motherfuckers. So anyway, to sum it up, the court concluded to challenge NFF, National Firearms, dang it, Act. Provisions exceed Congress's Article 1 enumerated powers, and therefore they're unconstitutional. Okay. July 4th, 2025, Trump's Big Beautiful Act reduced the NFA's excise tax on suppressors, short barrel rifles, shotguns category, and a category labeled as any other weapon from $200 to zero. The items were still required to be registered at the NFA. So, yeah. Um, no tax, no register. Period. End of story. So that's a good thing. Okay. Ah, God, people are farting nuts. What the hell is wrong with people? Do you know? Do you know? And I surely don't know either. Ah. Meanwhile, in the UK, hay and straw stacks put up by farmers for feed in the winter for their cattle and others, are now being targeted in a TikTok challenge. Yeah. Listen, I do believe in, in armed resistance to people that are trying to damage your shit. Just as these fools in the United States kick in the front door and run. You kick on that front door a couple times, somebody's going to be blasting through it, just like Joe empty head CIA pedo Biden did, said, advised everybody. So, yeah. Crazies. Just people are bargain fucking nuts, okay? Florida's no children at drag shows law has been upheld in a federal court as constitutional. That should be a no-brainer, but who knows? Former LAPD officer gets a life sentence. Yeah, I mean, this guy's a real fucking dirtbag, ain't he? Kidnapped a teen for a $350,000 crypto robbery. Eric Halem, former LAPD, sentenced to life plus 15 years for his role in the armed robbery of a 17-year-old in Koreatown of a hard drive containing $350,000 in Bitcoin. Halen acted out of sheer and utter greed, the judge said. There could have been no other conclusion. Oh yeah, but all these other hoodlums, yeah. Oh man, a crook is a crook is a crook. But here, a former cop, turned into a crook, he gets slammed. Can we slam all the other fucking clowns? All the other bros, all the other hoes, all the other fucking shitbags? Can we slam them the way we slammed this fucking cop or a former cop? Anyway, so yeah. He still faces separate charges involving insurance fraud and alleged crypto related robbery, while co defendants have yet to stand trial. Sounds like since they got a former cop, they're going to run him to the ground and plow him deep. But hey, if you're just a hood, you in the hood on the street, doing whatever, you getting the pass. I mean, really. Um, Clergymen, pastors, and other clergy, are now trying to run for office as a progressive, as a Democrat, because, well, the fact is, a lot of these well-meaning Christians, Jesus was a liberal in his time. Okay, so anyway, the Republicans question their faith. Iowa Democrat congressional candidate Reverend Sarah Trone Garrott speaks during a primary election watch party with for Josh Turek. Anyway, it's you know these are these it's crazy. Okay, people have suicidal empathy. All right, listen. All cultures are not equal. All religions are not equal. And until you're going to stand up and fucking say that, and then point and say, look, some guy from Mississippi and Alabama. Mississippi has friend in Alabama. They each have donated 500 hogs. That's right, 500 hogs. 500 hogs to take to Dearborn, Michigan, and have a pull up near the mosque and basically have a breakdown, and then the hogs just all got loose somehow. Anyway, I started laughing. I said, well, I guess that's psychological warfare. But you know I just think uh, people have so much empathy. And then this, listen, it's not that I don't have empathy, okay? But we're supposed to have empathy for people like George fucking Floyd or this Corey Reed fucker up in Madison that stabbed a fucking cop, okay? We're supposed to have this overwhelming empathy for these motherfuckers that knowingly, willingly harm other people, commit these fucking crimes, uncivilized, dirty, thieving fucking bastards. And that's the best way to describe many of these fuckers, okay? And, you got people pandering to them. I, I don't get it. I mean, personal responsibility. And, to having a high enough IQ, I mean, they're releasing people in England back onto the fucking streets. Why? They can't keep them in prison because their IQ is too low to understand what the fuck they did was wrong. Well, then how can you let them, literally go in the street and do whatever? It wasn't long ago over in where was it? I think it was over in Denmark, where some black African guy was standing outside a children's elementary school playground, dropped his fucking pants and started playing with his pud. Okay, and he got the fucking snot beat out of him because it's no place. It's you just it's such uncivilized behavior, right? So this guy was getting a good education not to do it, and you know some white woman ran over there and was saving this black guy from the men that told him, "Oh no, you think you ain't gonna do that here, dude? Just go." No, no, that's not happening. All right, I can guarantee you. I'll guarantee you, somewhere down the way, this African guy who was standing there trying to jack off in front of a children's playground is raping somebody, is going to kill and murder somebody along the way. I just, you know it. You know the odds. You know the people. You know how it is. Most of the fucking crime and violence comes from a small group of fucking retarded human bastards, okay? Hell, they might even be transhuman today. I mean, after all, that's what that was all about, right? That way, that way, the trans humanism is in everybody that got the clot shot, that everybody that got the COVID shit. Oh, and if you didn't know, they just did the Food and Drug Administration, fools, dumbasses, and retards. They just approved a mRNA flu shot. So yeah, it's wow, it's crazy. Well, anyway, um, there was somebody is pointing out the other day. It's just amazing. The coincidences that we have in this world is, well, amazing. I mean, it's just happenstance. It's just an accident. Do you believe in fucking accidents? I don't believe in fucking accidents. I don't believe that what I'm about to tell you is a fucking what you're about to see is a fucking accident. And nobody, nobody is trying to, how should we say it, um, to convey the message of truth. That's what's fucked up.
In charge of the CDC that was controlling and telling our government to shut down small businesses and what they recommend for the mandates of the vaccines and Pfizer and all this. The director of the CDC was Rochelle Walensky, dual citizenship with Israel. She's a Jew. Deputy director of the CDC, Ann Shawalchik, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC chief of staff, Sherry Berger, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC chief medical officer, Mitchell Wolf, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. CDC director of the Washington office. This is pertinent to the topic. Yeah, this is pertinent to COVID. So, director of the CDC of the Washington office, Jeff Resnick, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID SAR, Jeff Zaints, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. COVID senior advisor, Andy Slavitt, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Assistant of Health Secretary for Human Services for our country, the Assistant of Health Secretary, Rachel Levine, transgender, dual citizenship with Israel.
Yes.
Jew.
I'm going to ask that you hold off, Christopher.
The chair has ruled that your comments are out of order. She's asked you to stop.
How is it out of order?
The chair
How is it
has.
out of order? He said Jew. There's nothing wrong with Jew. It's not derogatory.
Head of Pfizer vaccines, Albert Bourla, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Pfizer chief scientist, Michael Dostin, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Moderna chief scientist, Tal Zaks, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. BlackRock, everyone know BlackRock? BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. I said we're willing to sacrifice our ego, our reputation,
You have 19
and our lives.
seconds.
Yes, ma'am, and I love you, and I appreciate your patience. BlackRock president, Rob Capital, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. The CDC chief medical officer of Johnson & Johnson, Joanne Waldstreicher, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Chief medical officer of Merck, Michael Rosenwald, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Head advisor of the World Economic Forum, Yuval Harari, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. And that's only talking about COVID. That's not talking about who's in charge of
Christopher, you need to stop.
Talking about who's in control of the media or the banks. I can go on. God bless y'all. Thank you for your patience. Who's in charge of the CDC that was controlling?
Well, anyway, it's clearly obvious. They said, please stop. Please stop. You said the J word too many times. You said the truth again and again and again. Okay? Ain't no fucking accident. COVID scamodemic was brought in. I mean, let's be honest, okay? You got to keep control of the government that you have, right? Even if you have to rig the elections. So, yeah. Speaking of rigging the elections, just as, New Jersey was found to have 75,000 illegal immigrants that were literally on the voter rolls, not 62,000. or 60,000. But anyway, every time you make that number smaller, Democrats say, "See, look, it's a smaller number. It's smaller. It's smaller." Yeah, it doesn't matter. Bullshit. A lot of races are decided by hundreds of votes, but these are local elections and state elections, and that's part of the fucking problem. They are not just rigging the fucking federal elections; they're rigging state elections. Virginia removed 6,500 illegal voters from the rolls just recently. So yeah. Meanwhile, there is another discussion going on that about counterfeit ballots. I have no doubt that counterfeit ballots have been in vogue since 2020, since they literally ran them through again and again and again.
There were many problems discovered during the Maricopa audit. So in the first place, the Senate subpoenaed the ballots, and the Board of Supervisors delayed 5 months before they delivered the ballots. Out of 1,600 something boxes, all but about 50, the seals were missing or had been broken. There was no chain of custody on them. Dominion has a very specific requirement for ballot paper to be used in a Dominion scanner. So we're talking about something that's 4 or 5 times thicker than an ordinary sheet of paper. It has to be manufactured by the Roland Paper Company in Canada, and it has to have an infrared fluorescent watermark on it. Inside the scanner, there's an infrared light and a detector to make sure that the ballot that's been inserted is not counterfeit. But when the citizen auditors actually got to look at the ballots, they found 9 or 10 different kinds of paper, most of which came
from Staples and Office Max. Okay. What happened is, as I said before, as I said during that time, I said they just turned the fucking machine off. They turned the scanner that would read and validate the ballot. They would just turn it off. We don't need that thing. They turned down the signature verification to where it would read block letters and still say, verified signature. The fraud that we've seen in our elections is systemically unfixable because it's just like the Soviet Union. The people that want to count the ballots have decided to cheat. It's the question of how they're going to cheat and how much they have to cheat to win. Okay. Let's see. Going back to 2020 cheating on the ballots. Oh, God bless, man. Was this? This was about the poll books. They had poll books where they would upload data and stuff into, and of course, some of them poll books were needed to be reset. So they factory reset them. Somebody from the outside went in, and remember, these things are what? Are Wi-Fi accessible, Bluetooth accessible data pads that hold vital election data, that they say they're never connected to the internet. They're aircraft and they're all this. But then how would a tech be able to get into that machine to remotely fix it? So yeah, it's clear, and it's clear. It's just such bold truth that people don't want to. there's so much fucking crime going on out there. It's funny. And when I say crime, I'm talking about white collar crime. I'm not talking about people running up and sticking a gun in somebody's fucking ribs and saying, "Give me your money." Hey, it's easier. You get less jail time, and the money's bigger if you defraud the medical system, the healthcare medical system. The Federal Review of Maine's Autism Support Services. So people that have autism in Maine, okay, and they need support services. Well, is that what they found? They found 90% of it is fraud. There is no justification for the services, adult services with autism. So, yeah, 90% of the services billed and paid for in Maine in particular, said Dr. Mehmet Oz, were where there is no justifiable backup for it. Nine out of 10 services you can't justify they should have happened. It's just the opposite of what you would normally expect. Okay. Trump administration, what he's saying is normally you would expect, 90% of patients and 10% fraud. In this case, in Maine, you have 90% fraud and 10% actual patients getting taken care of. 19 defendants charged in connection with a scheme to defraud in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, there has been massive fraud found in the Pennsylvania election system, okay? Where it is estimated that how should we say it? There were hundreds of thousands of signatures and people they tried to verify and they couldn't get it done. The New York City election with Mayor Mandami. Okay, here is the state of social fuckism. Oh, pardon me. The social fucking bullshit. Okay. An audit in the New York City mayor's race throws everything into question. It really does. It is estimated, get this, it is estimated that 23% of the votes are invalid. Okay. Here's Mary Hornick, Real America's Voice, to lay it out for you.
We ran an audit. RealAmerica.vote ran an audit of the Mamdani 2025 mayoral election. And we asked the question, did the New York City and New York State boards of elections qualify every voter according to law? And this is where we discovered not even close, right? Not even close. No one should be surprised, right? Because they're using the so-called honor system to qualify voters. But 7% of the voters cannot be found. They don't exist. They're synthetic identities. 6% of the voters have fake social security numbers. These are numbers in series that SSA website identifies as invalid and impossible because they didn't issue them. And finally, 10% of the voters did not live in New York City any time during the entire period from January 2025 to June 2026. So, they absolutely have no skin in the game. These are blatantly unqualified voters representing 23% of the vote.
Wow, 23% of the vote in New York City is completely fraudulent, completely phony, completely whatever. Yeah. Mayor Mandami shouldn't be a mayor. He should be, well, let's just say He should be out back. You know, that's some seriously fucked up shit. If what they're saying is true. So yeah. Lippy, you say it, brother. Oh, God bless. Here it is.
Hi, what would you like today?
Hi, can I get a double cheeseburger and a large fry?
Sure, I'll need your ID, please.
Sorry, I left it at home, but I'm the mayor of New York City.
Sir, anyone can say that.
Everyone knows who I am.
Recognition isn't verification.
This is absurd for a burger.
No ID, no food.
Hurry up, you fat ass!
Look, I've been coming here for years.
Thank you.
Then you'll have no trouble producing documentation.
What's taking so long?
This is ridiculous. I have been coming here for 11 years. I am the mayor of New York, and you will not sell me a $6
ID.
Fuck!
Well, if you didn't know, that's one of the latest Saturday Night Live AI skits, I guess, that they're putting out. I think I mean, you got to admit, you know, look, you don't have to have an ID to vote. You don't have to have an ID to even register to vote. But if you're going to use the New York City Mayor Mandami grocery store, you got to have an ID. You got to give all of your fucking personal information over so they can see if you can even qualify to shop at one of Mandami's grocery stores. Meanwhile, halfway across the country, J.B. Pritzker is shutting down their state-run grocery stores. That's right. After $27 million in the hole, down the hole, never-ending empty hole down there. Somebody caught that 27 million. I don't know who the fuck it was, but you know there's a donor or there's somebody out there that says snatching that fucking J.B. Pritzker, you know, community grocery store money. Yeah. Anyway, evidently, you know, they had tried that already and they shut it down. Okay. First off, how are all the other stores going to survive if all the other if the grocery stores from the mayor undercut the corporations or the people in the city? That, you know, the truth is, I think it's illegal for government to actually be in corporate, you know, business, service businesses like that. I'm just saying, it's wholly unfair competition. But anyway, it's nuts. It's crazy. It's stupid on steroids. Okay. What else we got going down here in America? Oh, that's right. In the Michoacan state of Mexico, U.S. government inspectors and workers and peoples have been told to get the fuck out. A cartel leader with the police chief, sitting beside him, said that all Americans and blah 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 you're going to be kidnapped, you're going to be killed, you're going to be murdered, you're going to be unalived. Evidently, this drug cartel guy leader, he was upset because his uncle, I think his uncle, maybe his brother, got arrested. Okay, maybe by a cousin, I don't know. Top level, you know, narco trafficker, arrested by the U.S. Now, of course, threats and all this stuff was coming out from them. So, yeah, big deal. Nothing new, okay? I always believe that most people in America should keep a loaded gun near the front door, easily accessible for self-defense, of course. Okay. But always remember, sometimes you might have to go out and protect the dog or the outside of the house. Yeah, you have to protect the fence row. So you might have to, whatever. It's so bad in Europe. Listen, Europe is in the middle of this, of a war, okay, itself. All right. Yeah, I mean, we all know that Europe's overrun by Islamists right now. Okay. I mean, let's be honest, it's overrun. This stuff in Suda is kind of a concentration, but it's no different than what has happened across all of Europe that has joined in the Islamic invasion. Um, so yeah, they need a war. They need a war with Russia. Um, these limited attacks. That's what I call them. These limited attacks on Russian tanker fleet, um, uh, and all this other stuff, sanctions and using the Russian money, and I mean, I think it's pretty pitiful. Okay, because Europe's a vassal state, and it's been deindustrialized. It's been destroyed. I think it's been pre-destroyed. Why? Because when the fucking nuclear war comes and the bombs drop, the cities won't. The cities are already shitholes. And in fact, the radiation and the bombs and the nuclear glass field will probably fix a lot of the problems that that people have with Islamization of their country. But anyway, that's wow. There is I don't know. There's people say everybody's playing, like 5D chess or 3D chess, and and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't really, I don't subscribe to a lot of that. Okay, in all honesty, all right. Mostly because you can't believe most of it. All right, in all honesty. Now, there is this belief that Donald Trump attacked Iran to literally to attack the House of London. Okay, because it's supposedly that the Lords of London, the House of London, controls Iran. I just don't think that's true. Okay, I just think that's another political, psychological psyop setup, um, where um, where there's people that believe that they would attack Iran or Israel any way they can if they were told by London. Okay, even nuclear weapons. All right. Yeah, I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt that Islam and Muslims hate Jews and the same back at them. Okay, I believe Jews look at Muslims as if the way slave owners looked at their slaves, with with such disregard that they're barely human beings, dehumanized to hell and back. But I see the same thing on both sides in that conflict. Okay, so both sides are so dehumanized, everything and everybody, their own cultures, their own lives. They can't even see the genocide that they foist on themselves. It is, it's a sad thing. I just don't believe in supporting any of this retarded shit that what's going on in the Middle East. Okay, it's not that it doesn't exist, and but you're never going to fix it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now, there are those that keep saying that Russia is now preparing to attack Poland. Okay. This is in particular news after Zelensky visited Serbia. Oh, God bless America. There is a lot to be said about education in America. Okay. And there's a lot of people that don't believe that don't believe in the moniker retardation nation. I guess here's truth is, I would find this in some white neighborhoods too. Okay, that's all I'm saying. A Juneteenth challenge reading test.
So in honor of Juneteenth, we practicing our right to be able to read. Go ahead and read me that paragraph.
Okay, so the Kelowna received a subpoena after a particular receiver with his license.
Period. All right, in honor of Juneteenth, we practicing our right to be able to read. Go ahead, cuz read me the paragraph. All right, in honor of Juneteenth, we practicing our right to be able to read. We practicing our right to be able to read. Go ahead and read me that paragraph, Sean.
All right. The colony received a.
The colonel received a subpoena.
I have no clue. Yeah,
rendezvous.
All right, in honor of Juneteenth, we practicing our right to be able to read. Go ahead and read me that paragraph, Nick.
The colonial received a subpoena after a peculiar.
Well, I think you get the message. Okay, I think you get the message. All right. Listen, if you can't read, it's hard to have any real understanding. Okay. Now you can understand culture, you can understand people by watching people, but reading and gathering information, from books or computers or anything else it's a challenge if you can't read. Okay. The sentence was the colonel received a subpoena after a peculiar rendezvous with his liaison. And, it's it shows this lack of education that we live with today. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, the BBC. That's right, the BBC. This may play to the end, to the break. God bless, man. I saw this. I fucking rolled. I was laughed like hell. I mean, it's laughed like at this other one too I saw yesterday. But the BBC, the Batty Boy Club.
To BBC News. This is my colleague Hugh Edwards. Hugh Edwards violated international child pornography laws while still being an employee of the BBC. At the time, he was exposed for texting naked pictures of his balls and ass to someone who's under 17. That was a crime, so we knew he was a criminal from day one. The BBC did not fire my colleague Hugh, did they?
No, they didn't fire me. Also, I get to retire, by the way, on my full pension of £300,000 a year.
That's awesome, because when they didn't fire you and you were placed under investigation, they paid you your full salary. And upwards of £200,000 the British taxpayer paid you to stay on BBC. And while that was happening, it was found out from your phone device that you had been buying and selling pornographic content of young boys aged 7 to 9. Category A images of children.
Oh, I'm convicted.
They found your porn. You pled guilty.
I'm a convicted pedo.
Can I be expecting to see you in jail anytime soon? Perhaps I can come visit.
No, of course not, because I work for the British Broadcasting Corporation, which of course is part of the Matrix, and it's the propaganda arm of the British government.
Okay.
So, of course, they protect me. So I've got a suspended sentence, which basically means as long as I don't pedo again, I won't go to jail at all, ever, for a single day.
Obviously, if you're in England and you scream at a police dog or wave a Union flag, during a protest, you do what, 20 months, 24 months?
Oh, no, if you scream at the police because little girls got murdered and you're upset about it, then you definitely have to go to jail. But if you actually
molest kids, buy pictures of them being raped,
yeah, then you don't have to go to jail at all. Hello?
Well, anyway, that is where we're at today. From the Batty Boy Club to Jeffrey Epstein to the rest of these pedophile fucking bastards that never get held accountable. And when they do get busted, what do? They haul their ass back to their homeland in Israel. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that many of these high-profile Jews run to Israel where there is no extradition treaty? Well, they would never extradite a Jew to the U.S. for any reason. Why? Because we're just Goyim. Hey, aren't you Goyim? I'm Goyim. You're Goyim. We all Goyim. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, we should make Israel Goyim a goy again. Okay? God bless America. Well, anyway, we go from America. Russia going to attack the Europe, right? Russia's going to attack Europe. That's the big scambo. That's the big excuse. That's the big thought that they're trying to push forward right now. Help. There's the break on Rev Radio. We'll be right back, Rev Radio, after the break there. So, oh my God, man, what the fuck is wrong with people? I have to ask because, what the fuck? I mean, really, people are just fucked, man. If Trump gives him a reach around, come on, just say Trump doesn't get something out of it. Does Trump get his colon cleansed by Bibi Netanyahu? Is that one of the questions that Flippy has? Oh my God, man, a day. So yeah, I was trying to read down through some of this stuff from Johnny and Flippy, and yeah, it's what the fuck is wrong with peoples? I mean, what the fuck? Well, anyway, yeah. God bless them, man. I am telling you. Economy loses 23,000 jobs in July. Revisions down sharply. Yeah, must have been those 40, 60, 80,000 people that worked at illegal immigrants working on crooked Social Security numbers. I guess maybe that's where all the jobs went in July. I mean, that's got to affect something somewhere along the way, right? Where white people will go to work, but nobody else will. There are jobs out there. May not like it, but you got to put a roof over your head. Some people say they do. Some people say they don't. I know people that said, "No, I don't. Get a job." No, I don't have to get a job. God, man. What the fuck is the matter with peoples? The Dawn says, I'm going to hang her out there for a little bit till we figure out what we're going to do with Jeannie. Jeannie, yes, that's right, Jeannie Pirro. Okay. Jeannie Pirro's future is unsettled as Todd Blanche defends his authority and says that newly obtained evidence showed pool damage resulted from contractor installation problems, not a criminal vandalism by the defendants. Okay. So, yeah. So, the truth is, Trump had a shoddy job done. Okay. on the reflecting pool. And to do it right, you just can't rush it. People may think you can, but I don't think you should. But anyway, I think Jeannie Pirro should I think they should cut her loose to allow her to actually go after people in the fucking government that have how should we say it, that have attempted to overthrow Trump. That's how I look at it. Okay, so yeah, got to kind of keep an eye out. We're at 9 o'clock, and I've got a couple minutes. But yeah. Now there is another genie. There is another genie genie that I had to talk about. But this is another Trump assassin. If you're not aware, under low radar, I haven't seen it pretty much. I've seen it a few places. Earlier this week, or was it last weekend? There was a guy that was found in Mar-a-Lago. His car was parked inside the gate. Evidently, he had been walking around and scoping things out, and had a tactical vest. I don't know what all the stupid shit this guy had. I mean, if you're going in there, why are you wearing a tactical vest? Unless you're trying to fake yourself a cop. But evidently, this guy was trying to figure out where Trump was going to be about the big golf stuff that was going on this weekend, I think, and they was going to try to kill Trump. Now, this guy's name was Genie, and it was a man. So, and they spelled it with a J and not a G. So, yeah. Well, Meta backlash grows against Meta as the pervert glasses, as the Meta's smart glasses grows. The backlash says, what has happened is these high-tech gadgets that we can wear, like in our glasses and other things, man. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, Rev Radio. God bless you. Talking about pervert glasses from Facebook. Yeah, I mean, listen, isn't that kind of spooky? Somebody can wear their glasses everywhere, their smart glasses. What about when you go into a bathroom? If you're walking around your house, you're walking around neighborhoods, I mean, even you filming yourself by accident, well, I'm wearing my smart glasses when I went in the Porta John today. Yeah, you're standing there looking in the mirror at the guys behind you. Anyway, that's some creepy shit. Now, listen, if you're doing a broadcast and it's handy to have like a set of glasses on your face that might have a readout in one lens, and a frame, and literally live streaming would be another. Okay, but those are functional. Not today. Everybody wants to wear and go and do and stream everything, everywhere, every time. Don't you have personal moments where you don't? I mean, I have to say some of the best moments in my life are not on digital, and I doubt they will ever be. Oh, those aren't sexual acts, by the way. These are like acts of compassion. Yeah, I rescued a cow. Yeah, I rescued a cow from a tree. He had his head stuck in a tree. Man, poor cow had lost 30 or 40 pounds, man. You could tell. You could see the whole ring around where he could move around the tree, but it was all crap and dirt. Nah, but anyway, yeah, just went out to look for a deer, help somebody look for a deer because, well, they just aren't very good trackers or whatever, and I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, wearing devices. Listen, people have to understand pervert glasses. These smart glasses. In cars, dash cams and flock cameras. It's a surveillance system today. Now there was a guy that lived in Wisconsin, and he went to Michigan to get some weed. I guess he went to Michigan, bought his weed, and drove home to Wisconsin, where when he arrived home, they arrested him. They tracked him there and they tracked him back using flock cameras. I don't believe that. I don't believe in this using flock systems, using private corporations, government investing in private corporations to make their technology become successful so the government can deploy the spy systems, or excuse me, the corporation can deploy the spy systems, and then the government can piggyback and have direct access to it. This idea, isn't new. And the attempts by government to get around the Fourth Amendment don't stop. Okay. That's, that just, it's crazy. And the amount of information and the amount of everything out here today is, wow, is amazing. The amount of information that you really can pick up and you can harvest from the internet. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Update drought and aging of pipes plunge Puerto Rico into another water crisis. Blackouts are coming, and you don't invest in infrastructure, particularly when you command and demand everybody to hook up to that infrastructure. You give them no outs, and then you fail to take care of said infrastructure. Okay, so yeah. Flock cameras losing dozens of contracts as the surveillance controversy grows. It's just not just Flock. It's a number. It's a AOS, I think, is the name of the company. There's multiple companies that put out these license plate readers. In fact, there can be private corporations that literally, and private people that drive around and look for cars on repo lists, and they get a fighter's fee from the whatchamacallit, from whoever is doing the repo. Okay, so yeah, $100 for a hot dog. Have people have lost their ever loving fucking mind? Okay. Um, Now, where in the hell and who would pay for a premium hot dog with sparkles and ice rock candy on it, caviar or whatever? Since its first appearance on the Coney Island boardwalk, the hot dog has been dogged by a low brow reputation, low nutrition, low quality, low price, maligned by public health officials and parents alike. Well, there are some places that make good quality hot dogs. I don't think Nathan's is a good quality hot dog. Okay. And I don't know how Seacrest Brothers up there in Dallastown. I think they're still in Dallastown, Pennsylvania. Um, best hot dogs I ever ate. Man, I might order some online. Um, or I have to go up there, I guess, to get them. But anyway, they're kind of a regional thing. So yeah. But hot dogs for $100, yeah, you got too much fucking money and not enough brain. In all honesty, a hot dog, really, $100. Psst, crazy idiots. Men injecting sketchy substances in themselves for looks maxing, and doctors are just horrified. Well, no shit. I mean, there's idiot men that just like idiot women that will, inject anything they can if they can make their tits bigger. They can make their ass bigger. If they can make this bigger and that bigger. And, I mean, God bless. What the fuck is wrong with people? Artificial is still artificial. Okay. What else we got going on here? Wow. Did you know that there is a leprosy? Did you know that there is a leprosy outbreak in Florida? What is leprosy? It's wow, shit. So yeah, this is this guy I watch. He does basically autopsies and breakdowns of people that get disease and die for stupid shit most of the time. But here's this. Listen to this.
Actually, it's been increasing for a while. What's leprosy? It's something that causes skin deformities. The person loses their eyebrows. Deformed parts become numb. The nerves shut down. Leprosy is ancient. It's described in the Old and the New Testaments. Long term, it causes permanent disfigurement, paralysis, whole body pain. But how does one get it? Well, it's a bacterial illness. The microbe Mycobacterium leprae was discovered by Gerhard Hansen, so sometimes leprosy is called Hansen's disease. It was brought to America hundreds of years ago, probably unknowingly, and somehow the bacteria transferred from humans to armadillos. Armadillos have a low body temperature, and that's ideal for these bacteria. That might be why it likes the skin in humans. This is a really weird
leprosy. So if you're in Florida or maybe even Texas and other places and you see armadillo, be aware that armadillo could carry leprosy bacteria. Okay, just be aware. Just to let you know. Okay. Now there has been a lot of speculation about UFOs. Okay, men from space, men from another dimension, men from Satan, demons. I mean, there's all kinds of ideas about what is and isn't. But here's a Rich Barris report, and we know this is true. So yeah,
have seen and some of the government reporting that I have seen it concerns me at the very least because something is going through our military airspace without concern that we can do anything about it. Like, it's very, very serious, guys. They're turning off nuclear weapons at will whenever the hell they want. And I'm not kidding. They're reactivating them, deactivating them, pointing at Russia, taking Russia's, pointing them at us, deactivating them, playing around. They're playing games. We're a freaking joke to them. It's not funny. I've also seen footage of things moving through military bases in the Middle East like it's nothing, and you can't see it with the naked eye, but it is there. And those of you who know, maybe you watched my interrogation on the behavior panel, I have witnessed things myself that I was talking to Jack Posobiec about this earlier today. Like, Jack, maybe some are unmanned things. There aren't any beings in there. But one thing that I saw was so massive. Like, why would AI or why would you create an unmanned vehicle this large? Like, it was massive. It was a city. It was huge. And it could literally just disappear because of the technology and how it propels itself. It actually isn't disappearing. It's still right there. It just bends light. And you think it's disappearing. The things that I have.
So, Rich Barris says, look, we humans, we're here, but there's another level of existence that we're not even aware of. Okay, And I think that's on both sides of this of the world, because I do believe that we can have a spiritual component that goes into like dimensions and such, and um, um, there is a physical world that is a real universe, and is a, you know, this real universe that is out here that is billions of years old. You know, because are we just be? I mean, see, and that's the thing. Everybody wants to know how this started, how everything came into existence, and you know, my old kind of question was, you know, can it just be? And you know, that's one of, I know that sounds simplistic, that sounds kind of stupid, but whenever you start trying to determine, trying to backtrack and figure something out, especially things that are so complex and so much bigger than you could ever think or comprehend, that that we get lost, even within um, our small earthen world. Okay, I just think it's crazy. Okay, so yeah, it's some shit that's going down. Okay, anti-Trump GOP governors are now working to undermine Trump's work immigration system by trying to put in a state work visa system, state issued work permits instead of deportation notices. Yeah. Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, and Kevin Stitt, Oklahoma governor, along with Wes Moore from Maryland and Matt Meyer, the Democrat Delaware governor, um, are attempting to pull together this state visa program. I don't think it'll work. I don't think they can, because federal is here and state is here. You already have these fucking ass wipes in the states, sanctuary states in particular, that say no, no, no immigration removal, no immigration. You know, we got to let our illegal immigrant murdering motherfuckers, you know, out on the streets to murder more. Um, it's God, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. So what these guys want to do is they want to have their own work permit scheme. I don't believe that they can, because of coming across the federal immigration barrier. How can you sit there and say you can't enforce immigration and then turn around and say, well, we're going to set up this immigration scheme to literally to get around federal law? Okay. You know, these guys are just, you know, I just think they're fucked in the head. Okay. Remember, most of these people, they only get where they are because they pandered to the donor class. They didn't pander to the retarded voting class. Okay. Truth is, most of the retarded voting class is so fucking stupid they couldn't think their way out of a wet paper bag. Miss North Carolina is stripped of a title after alleged racist comment has surfaced. Evidently, she made more of a homophobic comment than a racist comment. And Miss Bolton House allegedly posted, but said the decision had been taken after careful consideration. There are literally no places out here that I've saw where they said the exact words and the language that she used that stripped her of her title. Okay, maybe that's out here. That got her canned. So yeah, that's the question is, what did she say? I mean, the problem with motherfuckers. Okay, the real problem with motherfuckers is people can say something innocuous and they strip the fucking title. Okay, they could even say the truth. Maybe she used the word Jew in yeah. Dun 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 dun. Let's see. Bum, ba-dum, bum. So the woman won Miss North Carolina in June. Okay. Meanwhile, Brittany Bolton House's past social activity has gone viral on X. She used to go by Sosa the Stallion. Oh my God. Frequently used the N word in 2017 and 2019. On 27-year-old went by Sousa B. Alondra, made anti-trans and homophobic remarks. Some of the screenshots of her old post that Brittany was a MAGA supporter and backed Trump during his 2024 campaign. Notably, one of her black friends from high school defended her, saying that she was not racist. Instead, she had many black friends. So, yeah. She is black. She's not a white woman. See, and here once again, you literally have a black woman that is being bastardized because she did use the N word. It's her race. She can, okay, but they won't tolerate transphobia or homophobia, okay, or so-called racism. I was pretty sure this woman was black. Okay, what a fucking pieces of shit this fucking cancel culture has become. Okay, so yeah, you know, it's just one guy I saw did an interview with somebody and said, "What's the worst thing you saw?" This guy says, "I used to live under communism." He said, "But one of the things that I see is this cancel culture that really reminds me of communism because the state would have all the information, the state would have everything." And you could literally do anything, literally kill somebody in the street. The cops will cover it up for you as long as you're, in the fold and playing ball. And so evidently this guy says, look, you always knew who was in trouble with the government because you would hear the rumors about said person. And, so, yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Man, I'm telling you, some guy was arrested in Atlanta the other day. He was like, what the hell is wrong with people? He can't take your pet goat for a walk anywhere. I mean, really? I mean, what the hell is wrong? Oh, they like that hard shell, Flippy. This is in Washington, D.C. Look, it's the greatest of all time. Whoa. So yeah, I mean, why would you arrest somebody if they were just walking their goat down the street? Okay, and one of the cops said you can't have a goat as a pet. I would be willing to bet differently. Okay. Meanwhile, of course, if you're not aware, Dr. Fauci has been held in contempt, and that the Justice Department is getting a referral from Congress over Dr. Fauci. Hey, where the sound?
The truth. Anthony Fauci has advocated for dangerous gain of function research for 2 decades now. The question why is not a question that he can have liability for. He was given a pardon. Interestingly, the pardon starts in 2014. That's when the funding of the lab in Wuhan started. So I think he should answer questions. As far as pleading the fifth when you have a pardon, all you have to do is tell the truth, just not commit a new crime. But if we were to grant him immunity from telling the truth, of what value, would his testimony be?
Fauci's lawyer responded to the vote today, saying in part, quote, today's partisan committee vote is a crude political stunt intended to punish Dr. Fauci for exercising his constitutional rights. The Senate should reject Senator Paul's meritless and politically motivated contempt resolution. That's coming from.
Fuck that sumbitch, okay? Fuck Dr. Fauci, all right? I should hang the fucking bastard, okay? He really is, America's Dr. Mengele. And he didn't do it alone. He had hundreds of fucking morons and minions that went right along with him. And the scamdemic. So they could literally overthrow the 2020 election. Well, let's be honest what this was all about, okay? And that, the event 201, and that the live action part of it was in Wuhan, China. Did you know that? The main body of it was in New York City. So, when you hear people talk about that, the event 201, always remember that there was two components to that pandemic exercise. It was the administrative state in New York City, where supposedly were all the doctors and everybody gathered. And then in Wuhan, China, the military units that were supposed to be doing the detaining, the contamination, decon, all this other stuff, they were all actually in Wuhan, China. And that was in mid to late 2019. I mean, it's not an accident. This thing, popped off and was used the way it did. Particularly when you have something that you have, what do they call those things? When you have immunity for. I mean, really. DoorDash has won federal approval to fly its own delivery drones. DoorDash has cleared a major federal hurdle that will allow it to put drones in the air and not just drivers in the streets. So, expect this to be, the norm. They already have some of these little thermos looking little robots that deliver food, and they're going to be hijacked, stolen, everything else. So it's crazy. So DoorDash says human dashers are not going anywhere. Do you really believe that? I mean, are you that stupid? I mean, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, how fucking dumb are employees and people that subcontract from these corporations, where the corporations now have Waymo taxis to replace the drivers. They have drones that can drop the boxes literally right on the front doorstep. Yeah, it's a coming. It's a here. And within the next 5 to 10 years, if you think that you're going to make a delivery type of a delivery career or monies, and forget it. Okay, just forget it. Sorry, but you'll be screwed. Secret X bot army boosting Zohan Mandami. His public image has been traced back to City Hall. Servers out of City Hall in New York City are running um, X bots on probably every social media channel to literally to run a happy go lucky happy satanic mayor day. Okay, so yeah. New Mexico sues the Department of Justice for unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files. They absolutely 100% should. The Department of Justice says, no, 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 we don't have to. We don't have to. I don't believe, New Mexico is suing the Department of Justice over unredacted Jeffrey Epstein files, accusing the federal agency of stonewalling the state's own investigation into the alleged crimes of the deceased sex offender Mossad FBI CIA operative at his Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. Anyway, legal action filed August the 5th intensifies the political charge light. Epstein Files Transparency Act does not require the protective orders in place in the Southern District of New York do not permit disclosure of victims identifying information carte blanche, and New Mexico has provided no lawful basis to justify such sweeping disclosures. Oh, get the fuck out of here. We should know who Jeffrey Epstein piddled. We need to know these individuals because we need to know people like, Melania Trump. Melania Trump is one of the so-called models that are in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Donald Trump doesn't like it. It's on fucking inconvenient as hell. But what it shows is there is a consistent network of people that literally parasite off of the same systems. Some are as bad as others. Maybe Trump isn't as bad as Jeffrey Epstein, okay? But the truth is, he's still in that circle. And that's why he's protecting the circle. That's why Trump is protecting the circle, just as they protected Israel from 9/11, just as they protected Israel during the JFK assassination investigation, just as the United States protects Israel from its genocide that it commits every day in the Middle East. Fuck them. The United States should not support the genocide caused by the fucking Islamic crazy nut jobs. And until our fucking government stands up and says, what the fuck is wrong with y'all motherfuckers around the world? Really? Really? Anyway, I'm just saying, okay? They're protecting the Epstein files because it will take down societies. It will take down cultures. It will remove the veil that is keeping everything from breaking loose. Because when people know, they won't forget. They can't forget. They can deny, but they won't forget. They'll have fucking horrors, and they'll have nightmares about it. They won't tell you, but they will. Psychopaths, there are some, but always remember, many of them believe they're so superior to you that you're not even a thought in their lives. So yeah, unredact every name in the Epstein files, every page, everywhere, every victim, every crime, every person. This is what we wanted from the Jeffrey Epstein files, because we want to know the names of some of the 10,000 girls and women that were molested and raped by the Epstein pedophile network, because it is a major network. And with pedo Bill Gates still walking around free, still walking around alive, his legs aren't fucking broke. Somebody hasn't, knocked him the fuck off. Yeah. Bill Gates. Well, he had wealth in this lifetime. He'll be doing a lot of rock pounding and building the furs in the next life that he lives. But the Jeffrey Epstein files expose every name, every person. Number one, so they can seek justice against the 700 million that is still in Jeffrey Epstein's accounts. No relative of anybody should get that shit. Also, so they can sue the Rothschild bankster motherfuckers, the CIA, the FBI, for literally helping perpetuate the abuse and the blackmail and everything else. So, we actually, I don't expect any of that to happen. I realistically don't, until we have a civil war. And then we drag the fucking cocksuckers out by their fucking, by the scruff of their fucking neck. And we hold them, we have trials for them. The same way with the corporate banksters of the central banksters of the world. Okay. They literally steal your money, your wealth, and your life every day. And you don't know it. You don't even get to hear about it because they treat you like a mushroom. Mushroom America. You're fed shit and you're kept in the dark. And that's where we live today. U.S. intelligence assets are descending on Cuba like they are literally flies on shit. That's right. That's the best description I could give. Crap nation, covered with dung and feces. In fact, if you have dung and feces available in Cuba, you may be some of the few people that can have methane gas and have gas supplies, and you're too stupid, uneducated, rock dumb to even know it. Methane digesters, making alcohol. Listen, it's hard to believe that these cottage underground industries are not thriving in Cuba at all. It just shows how fucked up not just the people are, but the ability of people to even think outside of any communist box, okay? Without them being given a box by the government. Japan marks the Hiroshima anniversary without naming the United States for dropping a nuclear weapon on them because they would not have surrendered if not. Because nobody wanted to do a mainland invasion of China or a invasion of Japan. And but there was something that they did. Japan made remarks about Russia and casting Russia as today's problem. God, people are the psychological failures of people to look and understand that Barack Obama invaded Ukraine. He used covert operations to change the government. We call it a color revolution. Okay. They organized protests and created the fucking chaos so they could overthrow the country. The United States of America overthrew another sovereign country. Russia is kicking itself in the ass because Ukraine requested help immediately. And Russia said no, they didn't want to get involved, which today I'm sure Russia knows that it made a serious strategic mistake by not coming directly fast into Ukraine in 2014. Russia will not make those mistakes again and expect severe military action. So, yeah. Not sure exactly. Judge rules that Trump admin can end temporary protection status for Haitians. Gee, yeah, a judge on August 5th allowed the Trump administration to end protected status for 350,000 Haitian nationals. The Trump administration has said, look, come and get $2,600 and we'll send you back home with that money to help get resettled. Otherwise, we're going to hunt you down and deport you with nothing. Okay. So, yeah. We're going after them right now. These individuals can either self-deport or will arrest you and send you back. It's that simple. DHS Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen warned in an interview to Haitians. Anyway, so temporary protection status is temporary. Okay. You can't have an event like the Haitian earthquake, and then for 10 years after the earthquake, it's been 20 now, okay, but 10 years, people still fleeing the so-called Haitian earthquake damage, okay, and successive waves of Haitians, amounted to illegal immigration. Because of the temporary status, that means everybody that was Haitian tried to get here so they could effectively fall under the temporary protection status. Okay. That's fraud. That's illegal immigration. That's just because you had a chance to fucking get here, you took it. Not that you needed temporary protection. And, I have knocked the Trump administration time and time again for not doing jack shit about Haiti. These motherfuckers can clean up every God blessed fucking nation in the God blessed world, okay? We can send bombs and bullets and peoples and everything to Iran, Saudi Arabia, Syria, fucking Israel, Jordan, Turkey. I mean, every fucking where. But right here on our own doorstep, fucking humanitarian retard crisis, okay? And you know, it is a crisis of retards because that's our Africa. You know, right there, right here on our border. This isn't like Africa that's across the pond. This is like a Dumbistan, Haiti, right here on our fucking border. Right here on the the corner of the United States. You know, right with float range, basically. Okay, so understand, it's a complete fucking political failure that Trump did not go in and execute Jimmy Barbecue and his fucking crewmen. Okay? It's a fucking crime against humanity to literally let Hillary Clinton get away with the $2 billion robbery of Haiti. The nation does need help. That is a nation that can possibly be rebuilt. Okay? And one of the reasons Haiti, you know, and some of these places are the way they are, is because when the French left, they took everything. When the Haitians and others, you know, kicked the colonials out, the colonials literally unbolted every bolt and took it with them, and said, "Fine, you get your country, you get this, you know, you get the blank canvas. Now you do with it what, you know, we did with it." But you don't see that from those societies. Anyway, yeah, it's crazy, crazy stuff, man. What else we got going on here? Russia could attack NATO within weeks, U.S. intelligence warns. Yeah, the U.S. intel system, not too fucking intelligent today. I'm just saying, okay? Not too fucking smart, all right? Now, Donald Trump is according to the Telegram, according to the Atlantic and other places, that he is whipping up communism again, that he's bringing back the Red Scare. Oh, you know, hey, so when someone says they're a socialist and a communist, you don't take them for their word. I mean, you know, this is madness. Okay, the Democrats, Socialists of America, they're fucking communists. Okay, they're so fucking close to being communists that the communists don't even bother, you know, running their name. They just say Democrat, Socialist. That means communist. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, well, you should be carrying your ass and go finding, you know, a socialist fuck place to live. That's what I have to say. But yeah. Well, I guess since we're right here about 10 minutes to the show ends, I guess we'll see what new news and information that we get coming out. Jobs supply, jobs shock. Yeah, 23,000 U.S. workers below estimate. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Pakistan sign Islamic NATO defense amid the Iran war. I talked about that before. That's going to be a little hard for, you know, and it's going to make it difficult for Israel to run the clergy plan. Okay. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Pakistan signed a defense agreement. Gathered in the city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia, it seeks to strengthen joint deterrence and expanding defense cooperation, according to the Saudi press agency. Is it essentially a NATO-style agreement for the Muslim world? Given that it stipulates and formalizes that an armed attack on any of these countries will be treated as attack against all. So attack on one is attack against all. Hmm. Imagine that. So, yeah, remember, Pakistan does have nuclear weapons. Pakistan has agreed to send nuclear weapons to Saudi Arabia. That is the main reason behind a Saudi Arabian nuclear power program. Donald Trump knows this. Donald Trump's team is aware of this, and they're just stupid. I'm just saying they're just stupid. Okay. So anyway, now what is going to happen? That Erdogan has now essentially created his million-man force, and now it's getting Lebanon, it's getting Syria, it's getting Jordan, uh, Egypt to join the pact. That way, if Israel attacks any of these nations to continue expanding and stealing land, that, yeah, maybe even I wonder if the Palestinians would sign that. But, the truth is, nobody wants the Palestinians. I don't know what it is. Is it because they're like the gypsies in a way, or are they just used as frontline cannon fodder? Kind of the same thing that the U.S. is doing in Ukraine. Okay, I mean, I don't know if they are or not. I just think it's pretty well stupid. Okay, so yeah. Islamic Society sues city over rejection of the mosque proposal. The lawsuit claims that a wave of bigoted opposition from members of the community and local politicians. That's right, that's absolutely true. They don't want an Islamic society in their fucking city. They don't want rapists and bombers and murderers and fucking and pedophiles. We have that already. We don't need it to be institutionalized by this by the horde, I guess. Yeah. Always remember that in America, you're not free. You have to bow to the system. Tulsa, the Islamic Society of Tulsa, filed a lawsuit against the city of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. 4 individual city council members after the city denied its request to build a mosque and an Islamic community center. The suit said, filed August the 3rd, alleges denial violated the Constitution, the Federal Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act by discriminating against Muslims. The truth is, Muslims, if they worship the Quran, they shouldn't even be in the USA. Okay, period, end of story. All right. Talking about an organization, a political Zionist religious model. I think it's more political than anything, but um, I just don't think so. I stand with Broken Arrow on this. Yeah. So so they say a wave of bigoted opposition by members of the community. Despite recommendations from city staff and the planning commission, the city voted 4-1 on January 12th to deny the rezoning request and the conditional use permit. Hey, until they can strip out baby raping out of the Quran, until they can strip out apostates and that you can leave Islam without being murdered or without joining it, you won't have to be murdered. No. It is time that people just stand up and say, "Oh, just not no, but fuck no." Okay. But the suicidal empathy of the liberal class, of the do-gooders, they end up just like these fucking people that go help these illegal immigrants, and they end up murdered in a fucking suitcase, okay? There was some woman, I don't know if she was from the United States or the UK. I think she was from the US. She went to Greece and ended up in a suitcase. Yeah, after she was raped, robbed, murdered, slaughtered by scum. Okay? Sorry. The Islam has no place in America. And I will also say, Judaism, the Zionism, and their superiority complexes have no place in America. It's bad enough Democrats and their superiority complex of slavery. Add that, that's just a commercial component. It wasn't like, how should I explain it? It wasn't like a religious bound thing. Both Jews, I believe both Jews and Muslims believe that they can make you their fucking slave because they are superior to you. And that is the whole problem I have with Islam in America. Hey, y'all equal. Y'all ain't got fucking shit, and your shit stink. And let me tell you, I catch y'all fucking raping children. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I will go absolutely out of my motherfucking mind. I will go insane if I ever catch a fucking man or molesting a child. Okay, I'll probably beat that motherfucker till he's a bloody pulp and then some. I'm just being honest. Okay, just the things that just you want to fucking kill him. I do because I was a victim. I know how it fucked up my life. So, hey, Rev Radio, we'll see you Monday, God willing. Take care. Anyway, oh yeah, man, I am telling you. I mean, whoo, what the fuck is wrong with people in this world today? I don't know. They think it's normalized because, well, hey, kid, I was a 12-year-old. I could rape in wherever Bunfuckistan, where I came from. I could rape my kid. I could rape my wife. I could rape this. I could do what the fuck I want. No, not in America. And, that's, it's just part of the fucking problem, okay? So, yeah, it's madness. It is sheer madness of the world that we live and we see and everything that's going down. So, yeah. I will tell everybody, always be cautious about what news and information you see and hear. And because, listen, they're dropping more of these UFO files, of these UAU, unidentified aerial phenomena and shit, okay? They're showing this stuff, okay? And we have to ask the question, and it may sound wholly bizarre and it will sound really fucking nuts to people. But we have to ask, are we in contact and are we in an alliance with some fuckers from space? Or are these just rogue elements? Or are we just human meat? Are we just meat to these motherfuckers? Are we is this a farm on Earth? I have to ask all these questions because I don't know. And just because somebody puts out a whole big list of something, I read it. It's more information to put on, to sort and put on the pile. But hey, the truth is, we have to reevaluate because the government lies, because the media lies. And because people end up believing false ideas that get implanted in their brains. So always be careful, always be aware. And what I will tell everybody that thank you, that you change the world every day. And thank you for all you do. Because remember, you are the front line. Take care, everybody. God bless. Good days and good luck.